Years ago, I was speaking at a high school. It was a private high school, and it was career day, and someone thought it would be interesting to have me come in and talk to the girls. It was a private school for girls about this my career and sort of how I got to where I got and all of that. It was a great experience. So in speaking to them, I just could not. I've had this great career. It's just a great career. I really enjoy what I do, and God has been with me this whole time, and I just love what I do. So in talking to these girls and explaining it all, and they wanted to know from like beginning to end. So I was talking about it. I could not leave God out. So they question and answer time. There was one young lady, and she raised her hand and she said, "You know what? I want to go to college and I want to go to an Ivy League school, but my parents are not rich, and I'm not in sports, and I'm not this and I'm not that, and I don't know this person, and I'm not connected. It just seems that how could I possibly get in? How can I possibly qualify and be accepted into this elite school?" And this is what I said back to her. And this is what I say to anyone who's watching this video who has questions concerning whatever it is in your heart that God has spoken to you, that you wonder, how can that possibly happen to me? I'm not qualified, I'm not this, I'm not that. This is what I will say to you. In Psalms 138, it reads that the Lord will fulfill his purposes for me, and he will not abandon the works of his hands. That is one verse of so many that I have read over the years. But I want to focus on the fact that the Lord will fulfill his purpose for me, and he will not abandon the works of his hands. In the Bible, there are many stories that speak of people who were not this and who were not that, or actually they were this, they were that. For instance, Moses, he stuttered. And Moses, the guy who led the children of Israel out of Egypt, across the Red Sea, and in the desert, and who did all these miraculous works, who stood before Pharaoh, and who has made history. There have been movies made about him. My gosh, if I could remember the name of that famous actor who played him, Charlton Heston. Hello. Great Moses. But anyway, Moses was a stutterer, but yet God chose him. Esther was taken and was put into this, she was collected with other women within a city, and I'm sure there were thousands of women. The king was looking for a new queen, and she was taken from her home and put into this harem kind of like environment for the purpose of him deciding which one of the thousands would be his new queen. Could you imagine? It's like a beauty contest with 1,000 contestants. I mean, she'd probably think, my gosh, there's no way I can do it. Take Daniel, take Joseph, take all these stories. Gideon, who was fearful. I mean, there are stories in the Bible of people who either were not this or not that, or they were this stutterer, they were that fearful, but yet God took their lives and completely transformed their purpose and their life and their activities and what their life turned out to be, not because of who they knew on earth, not because they had some particular awesome skill that impressed man or woman, that they were promoted because of that. It was merely because they were God's. God knew their heart. God designed their life. He knew what they were capable of through him, and he alone moved heaven and earth to bring about a place, a time, a purpose for their lives. Bottom line, it is important to have confidence in the God that you know, and God Almighty. there are things that have occurred in my life that have occurred simply because I have followed the Lord. I wasn't smarter, I wasn't prettiest, I wasn't skinniest, I wasn't richest, I wasn't this, I wasn't that, but I had confidence in the God of my life, and I committed to whatever He would ask me to do, whatever position or post He asked me to serve, that I would do it for Him. It's all about Him. So I am telling you, this too can happen to you. When the odds seem impossible, if you want to be a dancer on Broadway, a singer on Broadway, an actor on Broadway, if this is what the Lord has told you, if this is something that truly is from the Lord, there are things that we want to do but that's one thing, and there are other things where you know that this is what you're supposed to do. That's a totally different thing. God will make a way. He knows the purposes that He has for your life, and He will fulfill that purpose. He will not abandon the works of His hands. So I'm telling you, apply to that Ivy League school. Apply for that job. Follow this pursuit. Put your hat in the ring for that promotion or for this or for that. Pray to the Lord. Submit to the Lord. Follow the Lord. And commit to be His no matter what. Because when you advance, when you get entrance, when you get that promotion, when the good things happen, man, that is really when you need Him. Because studying and doing a good job and being able to perform at that next level where the Lord puts you, you really need Him for that. And He will be there. The Lord is interested in good things for us, but He's also interested in us and having a relationship with us. So keep that in mind. Don't be fearful. Don't doubt yourself. If you had to believe only in yourself, then gosh, we'd all fall on our face. But you have a God. You have a God who is for you. And that's why it's so very important to know and have a relationship with God. It's amazing what He can do with your life. It's simply amazing. So, that was my answer to her, and that is my answer to you. Put your hat in the ring and go for it. Walk with your head high. Be humble in your heart and contrite before the Lord, but yet have confidence that God is your confidence, and He is the one who makes amazing things happen, even when it seems impossible. It's awesome. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.